Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Sid.
And it's Andrew, and today me and Sid are going to be talking about my personal experience applying to Amazon, um, our difference of college experiences, what it's like to be engaged, maybe. We'll dip into that if we have enough time, life as a college student, and yeah, we'll see how far we get. So, Sid,
Yes.
you so let's talk about my experience applying to Amazon.
Okay. Big company here. Amazon's very busy nowadays, as we know, with the coronavirus going on.
Yeah, so let me just give a little background actually. So right now I'm working somewhere else that has nothing to do with like the warehouse or like business side of things.
Hmm.
And right now it's not looking too hot because of this whole situation going on. So I was just looking around and this Amazon warehouse is like 20 minutes away from my house. So I was like, this might be a good job for the summer. But yeah, it didn't really turn out like that.
So when you say warehouse, you mean like just basically this giant room where you're packing and filling orders? Is that kind of?
Yeah, so basically there's like a few pretty basic and easy to do positions like packing and sorting and all that different thing. So it's pretty much like a break like you don't need to use your head at all. It's just okay, let me just put this here. It's kind of like robotic. Like there's no
It's
anything.
a manual labor, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, well, yeah.
But yeah, the warehouse is huge. It's like 1 million square feet. It's like it's I think it's one of the biggest. Yeah, something like that.
So how did you find out about this job? You just saw like a listing or something, basically?
Yeah, actually, it was just an ad on YouTube. I was like, oh, 15 to $17 per hour. That's not bad.
Yeah, definitely not.
No, so the application experience was pretty easy. I mean, I was pretty intrigued because they said they were flexible with hours for college students,
Right.
which is pretty good. So, yeah, that's kind of one of the reasons I looked into it. So, after I filled out like a huge long form, which is like 6 pages long, about like unnecessary stuff, I guess, for background checks and whatever, they make you do like an online tutorial.
Online tutorial? What do you
Yeah,
mean?
like of the job already, and I wasn't even hired yet.
They're like, this is how you bend your knees properly, boy, to not throw out your back when you're lifting boxes.
Well, I mean, it was kind of different. It was more of, okay, if you end up getting this job, this is what you're gonna do. Like, it was kind of like a preview.
That's nice. I kind of wish all jobs had that. Like, what if you applied to a job, right? And they just send you like this movie quality preview of all the negative side that it's gonna entail.
Well, I mean, it's nice to have a heads up.
It is. I think we should do that. We should be more transparent with that.
Take notes, everyone.
Take notes. So you apply to this place, you have to do this training. Train is that what you consider it training beforehand?
Yeah, I guess it was like online training.
And then kind of what happened.
So after that, it was quick. It was like 30 minutes just videos online watching people sort packages and whatever. So after that, they asked me to attend these office hours, I guess they called it, which is
Right.
basically you go in and they said they would do a drug test, take 3 forms of ID, blah 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 blah. But yeah, it wasn't really like that when I got there.
So they didn't drug test you.
No, it was so much different because again, this whole situation. So
Oh,
when
true.
I
They don't want that.
right, so um when I drove there, there was a whole like different section just for like people applying. It was like a whole other building just for people applying. I was like, wow, they take this seriously, I guess.
Wow.
So when I walked in, there were like two doors. I opened the first door, and then someone opened the second door for me because they have like high security or
Right.
whatever. And then they told me to like stand at one of the lines for like the 6 feet rule or whatever.
Right.
And I was the only one there. So, I mean, it went pretty quick.
I mean, I guess I get that, right? Because a company as big as Amazon, to be able to continue to run, I don't think Amazon shut down through any of
Oh
this.
no, they couldn't. No way.
So they probably have to be like, okay, well, if we're gonna do this, we have to abide by all these new standards. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so after that, so they literally asked my name when I walked in. I gave them my name. They just verified I was who I said I was, and then they took an ID picture. I was like, "Wait, this is going way too quick. Like, what's going on? I did not just get a job that easy."
They're like, there has to be something more. I could be a criminal.
So after the photo ID, I went into another room, and then there was just this lady who took my passport and my other IDs and whatever. And uh, after all that, after she scanned it, she was like, "Oh, you're all set since we're not doing the drug test." I was like, "Oh, okay." And
Yeah.
I asked because I had like the specific feeling that I wouldn't get the hours that I wanted. So I was like, "So if I'm still in school, will you be able to accommodate that, and will you be able to like let me come in an hour later and work an hour later or whatever? Just be
It
flexible."
happens like that.
Yeah, like will you be flexible as you advertised? And basically, she just plain out said, no. So like, yeah, if you can't show up at 8 a.m., it's probably not gonna work. I was like, oh, cool.
You just walk out like, what did you do?
No, basically, I was like, all right, thank you for your time, and stay healthy, do your thing,
Do your thing at
and that
8
was
a.m.
it. I was like, wow.
I'm just, I'm just laughing because I could picture this high security building, you giving your name, you're basically like, oh my God, I was just hired. Like, that's it. That's all I had to do. I didn't even have to take a drug test. And then they make you stand 6 feet apart from nobody, first of all. And then you get up to this lady who probably just looks done with her job. And you're like, so, uh, flexible hours? And she's like, nope. And then you just leave. Like, it's so climactic.
I know. Well, that's just my luck.
At least you tried.
Like, what are the chances of like a multi-trillion-dollar business just not even following through? Like, did I get scammed?
I get scammed. Was that the real Amazon? Was that a factory? You know what though? I bet so many people are applying to Amazon. They know they can get whoever they want.
Yeah, but I think the whole main thing about me going in was just to see if I was like one of those weirdos. You know, there's like so many like you know what I'm talking about.
Suspicious character.
Yeah, like you don't want any Joe Schmo just working in the warehouse and then boom, package gone. First day
That's
on the
true.
job.
That's true.
And it's
And you wouldn't have done that if you got hired.
well now if I apply again and I get hired, watch out Amazon.
But once you finish school, could you work those hours or not necessarily?
Yeah, like now I could. I actually just finished yesterday.
Oh, that's good. Yay, woot woot.
Yeah, so passed. I,
Remember, audience, D's get degrees in some colleges.
whoa, whoa, whoa! My grades aren't that bad. Jesus.
I'm just saying, do what you gotta do. You know, if you need a D to get by, if you need a C, it's okay.
Yeah. So talking about college, so you're all done, right?
I am. I graduated. What's today? Let's see.
The
Today's May
ninth?
9th. I graduated yesterday, May 8th.
Woohoo!
Um, there was no commencement for my 4 years of tears and stress, and I have two gray hairs now. Um, but friends and family did do a drive-by parade, and that was pretty cool. Even though if we weren't, I just thought it was funny if we weren't in a quarantine, because that's kind of become the norm, right?
Yeah.
You got a birthday party, drive-by parade. I don't know. You
Mhm.
got a divorce, drive-by parade. And I, I was just thinking, like, if this wasn't a quarantine, how mad would our neighbors be that we're honking every 5 or so days, like down the street? They'd be pissed.
Oh yeah, I'm already one of those neighbors.
You
Across
don't like they do it.
Oh no, across the street they have like 5 kids, and I swear they have the same birthday in a week.
They're
Like,
they're
what is going
couple.
on?
Oh my gosh.
I'm just looking
Well,
out the window like, "Arr."
so now that college is over, well, let's just put this in perspective. So Andrew, this is your first year of college, right?
Yep, just finished.
So Andrew's first year of college, and then you have someone my point of view who's gone through the 4 years of college at a stay away university. So have you had any weird, crazy experiences so far? You're just like, man, this would only happen in college.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know if I can really say this one. Do you have any stories for college?
I'm trying to think of ones that aren't too bad. Definitely something notable about college, at least where I went. College is the only place where you can walk around somewhere and just get free stuff. Like you can't
So
do that,
true.
and there's no guy standing on the corner of your street like, "Hey, come get a t-shirt." No. Um. Oh, okay. I have a good story.
Okay.
It's not a wild story
Okay.
because due to my profession, I cannot speak of wild stories, but I can speak of funny stories.
Okay, I'll
So
say my wild story then.
basically, where I went to college, the weather was crazy. Like if it stormed, it stormed. If it was hot, it was so humid that it was just gross and stuff would grow mold. So one day, it was no, you know what? It wasn't storming. I lied. Take that all back. One day, we're sitting in my dorm, me and a couple friends, and I think we always play video games or something. And all of the power just completely goes out. AC, electricity, I mean everything. And we're confused because it's not storming, right? We get
Right.
out our lanterns like freaking pleasants in the not yeah, peasants in the caveman days. And we're like, wait, what's happening? Like, there's no storm outside. Basically, what had happened was the town I went to college is so small that these construction workers were working on one part of the city grid or whatever, and they hit one wrong thing and they blew out all of campus's electricity.
Oh my god.
It was not just gone for like, oh, you have a little storm, the power's out for an hour. It was gone for like 2 days straight, okay?
What?
And it was hot. It was like August, so we would like leave the door open to try and get some air. And this just shows how dependent on technology we are. But we'd be laying on my bed, me and my friends, and be like, "What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do?" So that happened, and you would think, "Oh, well, that was weird. Glad it's over." I kid you not. 2 weeks later, it happened again.
What?
So there was just I don't know how many people can say that, but there was a large portion of my college experience where we were sitting in the dark.
Those are the best times.
They are maybe, but yeah, we had nothing to do, so we were just bored out of our minds.
You can't go outside. It's raining, or was it like a bad storm, like thunder or whatever?
No, I think the first time it was the construction workers knocking out the grid, and then the second time it might have been a storm, but I'm pretty sure it was the same construction workers hitting the wrong power.
Oh my god.
Oh, and then I'm trying to think. My last one, this is completely unrelated, but I lived in like the best way to describe it's like an old motel. I don't know if it was once a motel, but just the look of a motel, but it was a dorm.
Mhm.
The walls were pretty thick. They were made of cinder block or concrete. You had to yell to be heard outside. That was the good thing. So one day, my fiance and I are in my room, and we hear some yelling next door. But that's normal, okay? These neighbors normally yelled, so we didn't think anything of it.
Okay.
So time goes on, and we hear more yelling, and this time we can hear it through the walls, like full on choice of words, if you will. We're like, man, that's a pretty heated argument. But again, that's how these neighbors were, so we didn't think anything of it. Then we're sitting there, and we hear like, bam! I kid you not. He threw the desk against the wall, like picked it up and chucked it against the wall. And we were like, oh my gosh. And then we hear them, we're like panicking. We're like, we're gonna die. We hear them come out of the room. We're like, those nosy neighbors, those Karens of the neighborhood. So we like people with the blinds, but we're not gonna go outside.
Peeping through the
And
peephole of the door.
basically, and the neighbors, it was a man and a woman, and they were fighting. They were not to make light of this, but they really were in a domestic violence altercation.
Oh my god.
So I called the police because if this man is throwing the desk at a wall, like what else is he doing? Like he's pretty angry. And so I called the police. I'm shaking because I'm a Karen and I've never seen anything like that in my life. And so I'm on the phone with the cops, like, what's happening? I'm like, okay, well, they're outside on the balcony arguing right now. He's like, okay. And then I'm like, wait, now they're going downstairs. So then they left. And then they came back upstairs. I was like, oh, they're back upstairs. Long story short, um, yeah, my neighbor did end up getting hurt by this person. I think her arm was broken or something like
Oh
that.
my god.
Um, yeah, and she never knew I called 911, and I would never bring that up, or not 911, but the campus police.
Mhm.
But kind of wild just because I've never experienced that where I live.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if you didn't call the police, you might have saved her life.
right? Like, who knows what would have happened?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's just some weird stuff. I don't know. It's kind of weird when you're in a dorm living with all these people, trying to get along and weird things happen.
Oh yeah.
So, what is yours? Like, I'm
So
curious.
so for this episode, I'll keep it PG.
Okay.
Just a nice a clean story.
A clean, a family.
Family friendly story. So in I forget when it was. It might have been May or June when I first got accepted. There was kind of a not a not like a demo version, but it was kind of like, okay, even though you're a commuter, you can stay here overnight just to like
Oh,
see what it's like. Do you know what that's called?
um, orientation?
Orientation, exactly, yeah. So me and my friend from high school, we drove up in my car, and we actually got on the same floor of the dorm that people were staying in. And so basically it was like a 2 day thing. And the first night, I remember it was me and this one other guy just staying in this dorm room.
Right.
And I told her to come in the room. So then it was just me, this guy I never met, and then this girl that was from high school. That was that's
Right.
still my friend. And she was in a BSU group chat that I didn't know about, and she posted, "Come to room 430, whatever. I don't remember the number." And then all of a sudden there were just like 10 girls just outside of the door, and I was like, "Oh crap." And this guy that was in the dorm had Uno. So basically, when they showed up around 11 p.m. to like 3 a.m., we were just playing Uno all night. And yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I mean, literally, those are the best nights. Just some of the nights I remember doing like boring stuff, like playing Uno or playing Catan, whether you make it exciting or not. But those are just the best memories, just hanging out with friends, kind of hardcore like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Uno does pretty violent though.
Oh, it didn't get that messy.
Oh, we get heated when we play Uno. You try to reverse or like skip us. Mm-mm.
Punches thrown.
So hopefully when you graduate, it's normal and you'll have a commencement. Same for anyone else out there who missed their graduation or their high school graduation.
Yeah, that stinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So do
kind of. Sorry, you
sorry,
go ahead.
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that I wish I could at least dorm 1 year, but
Just see what it's like.
yeah, but I mean, I have plenty of friends at dorm, so I don't
Yeah.
know.
My brutally honest opinion. Well, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes, I'm gonna say this. My brutally honest opinion is college is a great experience, even if you're gonna stay at college, like whatever, like by the college.
Mhm.
I think colleges that make you stay on campus are it's dumb. And everyone argues like, oh, you gotta live in a dorm once, like that college experience. I don't think I ever lived in a dorm and was like, this is the best thing ever. Love this experience, you know?
Yeah.
And I lived in a dorm all 4 years, so I had friends who lived off campus. Yeah, I guess they were less involved with on campus stuff, but I feel like that kind of naturally happens eventually.
Mhm.
But it was overrated. There was never once I was like, oh, thank goodness I decided to get this dorm where if I spread my arms out, I touch my roommate. Like, no.
Yeah, I feel like people that don't live on campus just aren't controlled as much by the college, if that
Oh
makes
yeah,
any sense.
absolutely. Yeah.
So did your college have like off-campus apartments or anything that students could like rent out?
Nothing was affiliated with the university,
Mhm.
but it was like a college town. So every apartment around what little town it was, a college kid lived in it.
Right, that's kind of the same thing
Yeah.
that's at my school. Yeah. But more stories about experiences in those places. So make sure you tune in for some future episodes because I'll be talking about uh, some experiences in those apartment things.
It's always hard to like do an episode like this where it's like, okay, let's talk about this, and then you completely blank out on all those good stories you have.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel bad whenever we're quiet because you're gonna have to cut it out.
It's alright. I'll just make a note 24 minutes in.
I'm trying to think of a good segue. Oh, oh, I have a story.
Okay, so, okay.
This is your Amazon thing kind of reminded me of it because Amazon buy stuff from Amazon.
Hmm.
So if you've never used Facebook before, You can basically sell stuff on Facebook Marketplace. You put it on there. People in your area, it's like Craigslist kind of, will be like, yeah, I want to buy that. And then they can come pick it up at your porch or whatever you feel comfortable with. So I've been trying to sell this dog bed. Andrew, you've seen this dog bed. This is a quality dog bed here.
Oh,
Okay,
premium. Premium.
it's probably Tempur-Pedic, you know.
Top of the line.
My dog, he slept so well, he slept for a week. No, I don't know, but it's a nice dog bed. Um, and I'm trying to sell it on Facebook, and I got a hit from this lady who was interested in it. So I'm like, cool, I'm gonna put it in the mailbox, this premium dog bed, and you can just come by and then leave the money in the mailbox. And I don't know if there's a language barrier or we were just miscommunicating, but she was like, okay, I'll come between 7 and 8. This was yesterday. What is your prediction to what happened?
This already sounds like a scam on her part
It does.
because you're gonna send the dog bed first.
Hmm.
You should
Right.
always get the money first.
No, no, she's gonna come pick up the dog bed in the mailbox.
Oh, okay, so you're not mailing it out to her.
No, I just put it in the mailbox just to not have it on the porch.
And then she's gonna put the money in the mailbox.
Right. This sounds so shady.
Okay, let's hear the rest of the story.
So she said, I'm gonna come between 7 and 8. I said, okay. And I look in the mailbox at 9 o'clock at night, and guess what I see? My premium dog bed's still there. And so I'm like, hmm. So I messaged her. I'm like, you didn't come. She's like, oh, I wasn't able to make it. I'll come 7 to 8 tomorrow, which is today. Okay. I'm like,
Okay.
okay. A little annoyed, but whatever. Sure. So I put the premium dog bed in the mailbox and I go off with my fiance to have a graduation dinner. Come back around 10 o'clock and I look in the mailbox. I'm like, oh my gosh, we got robbed. There was no money in there.
I knew that would happen.
But the premium dog bed from Walmart was gone. So I was so mad. I was like, how could a human do this? They robbed me of my $6. So my fiance's like, well, maybe your mom just took it in. I'm like, why would she take it in? Why would she check the mail at 9 o'clock at night? And I had already checked it for her and handed her the mail. He's like, I don't know. So I'm sitting there steaming. I'm like, this world is so evil. Someone stole my dog bed.
How could someone do this?
How could someone do this? And then I call my mom, I'm like, did you happen to bring in a dog bed? And she's like, yeah, what was it doing in the mailbox? She's like, I was so confused. She said, I was on a walk and something just urged me to open the mailbox.
Oh my
And she was like, I looked inside and there was a dog bed.
god.
And I was like, no, mom, why did you take it? I was trying to sell it. It's like, oh, I didn't know. Why are you putting a dog bed in the mailbox, you weirdo? And so I messaged this lady and she says, is this still available? And I'm like, yes, it's still available. I told you to come and pick it up today. And this lady actually came. She said, I came at 8:30, but you didn't answer. So I just drove away.
Oh my god, no. Poor
Girl,
lady.
tell me why. I told you yesterday, oh, here's the address. It's going to be in the mailbox to the left. And I don't know. I just feel like a person with common sense would realize that the same thing kind of still applies today.
Right. Yeah, that's
The long
weird.
short, I still have a premium dog bed and no $6. And this lady still wants to buy it. And I don't know if she speaks English, but we're gonna try again.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Oh, so
Yeah.
yeah, that was my story there.
Okay, so we're coming up on 30 minutes, so we're gonna take a quick ad break, and let me tell you about Anchor, 'cause that's our ad. And now we're back, just like that, magic. So, yeah, Um, I
Now,
actually have
now, go ahead, go ahead.
I actually have sort of a similar story because my family, most of it, half of it, is Portuguese.
40, as you guys learned.
Oh yes, and they tend to be very persistent with things.
Oh, yes.
So one day, sometime when I was in middle school, me and a few friends were just hanging out in the summer, riding bikes around, doing whatever. So we decided to stop by my house to get a drink.
Right.
And during the summer, my grandparents stay over to watch my little sister. So um, they were home. No one else was home. Well, it was just my grandparents and my sister. So we dropped off the bikes outside of the house, thinking,
Right.
okay, let's just park the bikes outside of the house and grab a drink, and then we'll head off again.
Right.
So we go down into my basement. The bikes are outside, and we're, we got sidetracked for like 5-10 minutes. I forgot what we were doing, but then we came back outside, and the bikes were gone. And I was like, "Oh my god, what just happened? Did we just get robbed in my little white neighborhood?" So we went walking probably for 20 minutes, looking at people's backyards as if we were actually gonna find our stolen
Somebody.
bikes. Yeah, just a bunch of 14-year-olds walking around. So then we come back home to my house, and my grandmother is in the backyard. So then we went in the backyard, and all of our bikes are behind the fence in the backyard.
Oh my God.
And she said, "Oh, well, the bikes were in the front yard. I didn't want anyone to take it."
I took a.
So I took them instead and didn't tell anyone. And yeah, I was just very mad.
She's like, I'm gonna teach you kids a lesson about leaving your bike front.
Oh my god. So yeah,
Oh man.
your story kind of reminded me of that because your mom took it out of the mailbox.
Man, our parents are always tricking us thinking that they're stealing stuff. Oh, so maybe next week's episode, I will update you if I sold this dog bed or not.
And if you are in the Southern American area and
Southern, so vague. You
are
that literally could be Southern Florida to Southern California.
yeah, you can ship it over there, right? If you're interested in a used, very very premium dog bed,
Hmm.
very lightly used, very taken care of, washed
From Walmart.
from Walmart.
Actually, I didn't wash it. I said I would on the
Sick.
posting, but I'm gonna be honest. This lady was interested so quick, I was like, okay, maybe I'll just delint it and spray some perfume, and she'll never know.
Jeez. Such a
Premium.
bad person. So what do you think about horoscopes? Do you think they're real, fake?
I I've always thought they were mumbo jumbo, but you gotta admit, like it is kind of weird when you read something that applies to you. No,
Yeah, it is kind of weird, but like it's kind of like a hit or miss sometimes.
let's just see. So, what year were you? What? It goes by month. Sorry, what month were you born, Andrew?
I can just tell you the sign.
Oh, you know the sign? Okay, I
Yeah,
didn't know if you knew the sign. Go for it.
Virgo.
I'm a Virgo too.
Wait,
Oh,
what?
I'm a Virgo too. My birthday is
Oh,
day to be a Virgo.
okay, because I thought it was like from August 29th to like earlier in August, but it goes into September.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
I didn't know that.
I don't know if all horoscopes are the same cutoff or not. I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, are you ready for, I guess this is both of our horoscopes for May 9th, 2020, according to horoscope.com.
Let's hear it since we're recording this at midnight. Well, it's now May 10th, so let's hear if
True.
this was true for yesterday.
Who would have guessed that you have an ability to understand subjects as irrational as human passions? You're getting down and dirty with sticky, trivial realities of day-to-day life that you never that never interested you before. Social distancing piques your curiosity. Your new nonstick coating would make you an excellent personal director. Hiring a fire at the drop of the hat. Has that ever occurred to you? What on earth does that last part mean?
What on earth does that whole thing mean?
I feel like it's very vague. Can you say anybody is getting used to the quarantine life?
uh, no, honestly, I can't. I feel like
Well, like,
it's just very new to everyone.
okay, maybe, you know what? Maybe that was not the right one. They have different categories. So let's go. It's loading. Bear with me, people.
I can read one for the next day.
Oh, there we go. We'll go back and forth. Or sometimes you can look up the personality traits of that person.
Okay,
You know
you
what I
want to
mean?
do that while I read this next one?
Yeah, sure.
So this is for today, May 10th. You may feel restricted, constricted, or weighed down when it comes to your opinions on a plan you would like to begin. But look around you, Virgo. There is nothing pinning you in, squeezing the life out of you, or holding you down. Well, actually, I can disagree with that. Any prison that surrounds you is intangible, and it is therefore of your own making. Just as you have the power to construct an emotional cage of limitations, you have the power to tear it down. Keep it in the forefront of your mind that you can do anything you wish to do if you can free yourself of self imposed limitations.
Hmm. See, I'm a sucker. I feel like it always gets me. But then again, that could be so vague it applies to everyone.
Well, I mean, it did say you may feel restricted, constricted, or weighed down, and there's nothing pinning you in, squeezing the life out of you, or holding you down. But I guess this horoscope hasn't heard about quarantining and mandatory masks out in public for Massachusetts.
Really? That's mandatory now?
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that one applied to you or not really?
Not at all.
Not at all, really?
No.
Okay, well, let's see if these personality traits apply to you.
All right, let's hear them.
Okay, so this is 10 best and worst personality traits of Virgo. Of Virgo. Okay, let's see. I'm scrolling down the list. Sorry.
All right.
What is this? Okay. Some negative Virgo tendencies include the need to overanalyze situations and hold an extremely critical eye on themselves along with everyone else in their lives. That applies to me. I don't know if that applies
Wow.
to you.
Yeah, that applies to me too.
To a T. Let's see.
Yeah, see, like that was spot on.
That was spot on. See, stuff like that where, I mean, I'm very critical of myself and that spills over to other people.
Mhm.
I don't mean to be, but their critical eye is the reason behind their easy frustration and sometimes very short temper. Virgos are unique in their own essence. They will never do anything halfway. Their modesty and humility is what draws people to them, ultimately uncovering the beauty that is the Virgo.
That
Ah,
first part was true.
the first part. Okay, I found the list portion. So Virgos are critical thinkers. I feel like we've established that.
Mhm.
Virgos are hardworking. Virgos know that good things come to those who earn it, which is why they work their tails off to get everything they want. I feel like that's true, but that could apply to A lot of people.
That can apply to like any sign. Like, I mean, just because you were born in between August 23rd to September 22nd, it doesn't mean that if you specifically work hard, you're gonna get a better outcome. It's
Right.
kind of like it applies to everyone.
Yes, I'm not feeling that one. So it's like a one for two here.
Not looking too good for Virgo here.
Not looking good. Number three, they're amazing artists. A Virgo's creativity is always flowing. They like to express themselves through music, dance, acting, and even drawing. I mean, I like music, but I wouldn't say, oh yeah, I'm an amazing artist, guys.
I am not an artist in any form.
So that one definitely does not apply to you.
Definitely not.
Number four, they remember everything.
True.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
It says they can remember and bring up things that happened from early childhood that most people would not remember.
Absolutely.
Really, I don't. I mean, small details, but not everything.
Okay, so let me bring up a memory that we can both share. So, do you remember this was like I couldn't tell you what age this was, but you would wake up super early and I had this game. So, I think you had already moved away
Yeah.
and then you were just visiting and you would wake up like ridiculously early and you would play this game that was in my living room on the TV. It was like a little like Atari kind of thing. Like I
What
had a
was
bunch of games, and then I would wake up. I was like, wait, what?
what was the? Do you remember what the game was? The game called anything or no?
It was like a game with. I don't think it was a bunny, but it was kind of like a Mario game, like a 2D, like flat. Oh man.
See, the scary part is that sounds vaguely familiar. Like I experienced it, but I don't remember it.
Hmm. Well, do
I
you
had,
remember those Club Penguin days?
yeah. Do you remember? What I do remember is Andrew. We gave Andrew a snow globe thing from an aquarium,
Oh my god.
something, and he was little, and I don't know how. Me and my mom would lie to him and say that from our state where we live to where he lives, that we could see what he was doing. And I don't remember if your mom would tell us beforehand what you were doing. I don't know if you believed it or if you were just being nice and going along with it, but it was kind of funny.
No, I honestly did believe it.
Oh my gosh. Do you still have that globe or no?
It's in my drawer somewhere. It would take like an hour to get to it, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I have it.
See, I remember that.
Yeah. Um yeah, that's like really old. That's probably as far as I remember too.
Well, this says, let's see. So that was the positive. This apparently is the worst Virgo personality traits.
Oh, that was the worst?
These are the worst that I'm about to read.
Oh, okay.
Virgos are stubborn. Once a Virgo has a vision of what they want, no one can tell them otherwise. Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
I would agree. I don't. It's not necessarily just a Virgo thing. I don't think so,
Yeah, like you
um,
said, these are really vague.
yeah, like everyone can have little bits and parts. I feel like
Mhm.
they can be a bit uptight. Yeah, I'm uptight. I'll admit it.
Me too.
I'm probably like the most uptight person on my friend group. Virgos want to please everyone. Ah, I don't know. What do you think?
Um Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what I think about that.
I don't know either. I don't know.
Okay, just get to the next one.
Okay. Virgos get annoyed by the smallest of things. It's never on purpose, but they just can't help it, especially if you're in the zone and someone comes and disturbs their peace. I would
Relatable.
agree. Yeah, I don't
Hmm.
know, but again, like, I feel like everyone's like that sometimes.
Yeah, it's definitely not just subject to one sign, one horoscope sign.
And the last one is Virgos are picky.
Hmm. I'm
I
a
would say
picky eater.
you're a picky eater. Yeah.
What were you
Uh,
gonna say?
I would say I matched the description. The description said Virgos like to be precise in their decisions and have an ideal in almost every aspect, whether it be men, food, or even types of shows they watch. I would say I'm that way. Like I'm very over analytical of stuff that I watch or of the people I decide to be around. Like
Uh
I'm
huh.
picky. And
Yeah,
that's
well,
kind of the list. And it kind of makes me laugh because have you ever been one of those kind of weird generic sites and at the end they have weird unrelated stories with weird pictures?
yeah.
Like there's one with this dog that looks like he has a disease and it says the best way to stop a barking dog. It's genius.
Yeah, well, speaking on that last point, I mean, I am like very attentive to detail. So maybe
Yeah.
that goes along with picky. Are you the same way?
Like in everything? Like in schoolwork or
Well, I mean, kind of just like a general overview.
yeah, I would say so. I noticed the detail.
Yeah.
I'm not picky with food though. I'll admit that.
Mhm.
Like I
Hmm.
have some cake downstairs that I'm gonna eat, I think.
That's funny.
Well, everybody, that is all for our first podcast that we kind of didn't plan out. We kind of didn't script. So we hope that you like it. Let us know your feedback so that we can change and adapt to what you like. Andrew, go ahead and shout us out on that social media.
Yeah, so you can find us on YouTube. We're posting the video every Wednesday at 9 a.m. and we're posting the podcast version um, on basically every listening platform every Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. On Twitter, you can follow us at Loose Ties Podcast. We'll give you updates and ask what people are up to, answer comments, and yeah, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
See ya.